My life on my terms. On this slide, we have displayed three very meaningful images. The first one is herd of sheep. The second image is about script, story, or fiction being written or inscribed on the slate. And the third image is of an autopilot, which is playing that script. Contents. There are 6 sections. Quote on life. 2. What is life? 3. Anything, everything we chase after. 4. The script, the system. 5. An autopilot. And 6. The self and the system, a workable solution. A quote on life. The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. Henry David Thoreau. Anything we acquire in our life is for the exchange of our life. What is life? Life is 1. Time, the present moment. 2. Attention or focus. 3. Conscious, unconscious choice. This is life. What is behind the everything we exchange our life for? We try to maximize reward and minimize pain or threat. Let's say you are here at point A. You are always struggling to arrive at point B. You try to maximize reward. Reward is your urges, wants, desires, and yearnings. That is your reward, and you chase after your reward. You also run away or escape toward point B and try to minimize pain, discomfort, or threat. So we run toward, or we chase after, or we maximize reward, and we minimize or escape or run away from pain, discomfort, or threat. Worldly and inner system tells us keep running. It also present urges, wants, desires, and yearnings as our needs. But in reality, these are not needs, but the system, worldly system, and our inner system make us believe as if these are our needs. We script the system. We start our life with a blank slate. As we grow, the story or script or fiction starts being scribed on this blank slate. Who authors the script? Several players participate in and influence the writing of the script. Unfortunately, we live this story or script throughout our adult life. We never question the story. Major players who participate in writing the script or story or dictate the story are schooling, family, peers, culture, customs, society, clergy, authorities, trauma. Adverse life experiences are also part of the story. Capitalism, materialism, and consumerism also get their participation in writing the script. Social media, just to mention few. What could be usually inscribed? Some of the headlines of the story are: I am incapable, I am unworthy, I did wrong, I am bad, I am flawed, that is shame, also part of the story. I need to prove, perfectionism. I need validation, I don't want to be rejected, fear of rejection, part of the script. I should have, I shouldn't have. Cognitive distortions also become part of the story, such as all or nothing thinking, black and white. For example, complete failure if not perfect. Catastrophizing, assuming worst case scenario will happen. Overgeneralization, made one mistake, I always ruin things. I start believing I always ruin things. Overgeneralization. Mind reading, assuming I know what others are thinking. Mind reading. Emotional reasoning, the way I feel reflect the objective reality. So whatever thoughts are crossing through my mind, I start believing that that is reality. So whatever I feel, whatever I think, I start believing that that is reality. That is known as emotional reasoning, and that is cognitive distortion. Should statements, use of should, must, leading to guilt. Mental filter, focusing on a single negative and tuning out all positive aspects. People are out to get me. The world is an unsafe place. Learned helplessness. Three P's of learned helplessness. Part of story. Number one, personalization. I always ruin everything, so I hold myself responsible. Two, pervasiveness. A single setback will bleed into unrelated areas, making it feel entirely defeated. So, pervasiveness. The keyword is all over. Number three, permanence. The negative situation will last forever. Just to mention a few, it is about time to proofread the story. It is about time to take the inventory of this story. What has been written here that has to be proofread. The autopilot, the script that has been written, now it will be run by this autopilot. After a narrative, story, script, or fiction is built, it is run non-stop on autopilot in the mind for rest of our lives. The script is never reviewed, disputed, edited, or revised. We often operate on autopilot without even realizing it. We live unconsciously as if we are sleepwalking. The brain's autopilot is governed by the default mode network DMN. DMN operates when we are at rest and not engaged in any physical or cognitive task like problem solving or decision making. DMN is involved in mind wandering, daydreaming, self reflection. Salient network SN draws our attention to task positive network TPN and executive control network ECN, responsible for present moment decision making and problem solving. In other words, this SN salient network, task positive network TPN, or executive control network quieten the autopilot, quieten the DMN, and shift our attention toward the present moment decision making and problem solving. And that is what we need to lead present moment life. The strategy to quieten the DMN autopilot will be discussed in the next section. A life on my terms, a workable solution. In order to quieten our autopilot and start living consciously, work on the self, the inner self, and the system, the surrounding. What is the everything we exchange our life for? What is the everything we exchange our life for? Maximize reward, minimize pain or threat. These are our goals. Work on self, use opposite approach. Let's say you are here. Try to minimize reward. Also learn to withstand pain, discomfort, and threat. That is known as road less traveled. We call it homecoming. So we need to have a opposite approach. We need to minimize reward instead of maximizing it. And also we need to accept and come to terms with discomfort, pain, or threat. We need to embrace discomfort. Work on self. The following four lifestyle practices are extremely effective in quietening the mind autopilot. 1. Mindfulness. 2. Intermittent fasting. 3. Exercise. 4. Deep sleep. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being fully present, aware of where you are, what you are doing, and not overly reactive or non judgmental. When we practice mindfulness, we increase BDNF in our brain, and body, and this increased BDNF results in increased GABA. BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It is a substance or neuroprotein which protects neurons and also take part in neuroplasticity. New connections are made. Increased GABA. GABA stands for gamma aminobutyric acid, and this neurotransmitter is also important because it quietens the autopilot. DMN autopilot suppression or quietening is done by GABA. So we need to have a GABA. It is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. So these practices, these four lifestyle practices, all four of them have this effect: increased BDNF, increased GABA, DMN autopilot suppression or quietening. Intermittent fasting, the same phenomena. Exercise, same: rise in BDNF, rise in GABA, DMN autopilot suppression and quietening. Number 4, deep sleep. Again, increase in BDNF, increase in GABA, DMN autopilot suppression and quietening. The system. The system, socioeconomic or corporate, is a beneficiary of you being on autopilot. Once you are on autopilot, you are unaware of it. Your behavior becomes predictable, easily manipulated, and ultimately profitable to the system. The system dictates what to want, what to want. Do not let the system tell you what to want. The system provides easy loan. The system promotes unconscious spending. The system traps you to keep working in order to pay off the debt. Prior to spending, ask yourself, do I really need it? Is it worth purchasing with borrowed money? The bottom line: work on yourself, minimize reward, and learn to withstand pain or discomfort. Develop endurance. Apply 4 lifestyle practices previously discussed. Understand the system dynamics. Do not take dictation from the system. Make your own decisions. Live a conscious, deliberate, full life. Live a conscious, deliberate, full life. A wise old man on his deathbed was asked, "What would you like us to inscribe on your gravestone?" "Just write," he replied, "I lived when I was alive." Thank you for watching. Please share if you like the content.